X-Ternally yours sounds like a porno parody.
There's still time. What episode are we on, guys?
This is episode 8.
Doesn't matter.
Episode 8 of our podcast.
We are discussing the X-Men on season 3. All of it. It's going to be a long season.
Yeah, how many episodes of X-Men are we doing? Are we doing all of them?
Yeah, we held a vote. You were there.
Yeah.
You paid you pay attention to the group chat, right?
Wow.
There's a group chat?
You know, I do, but then I forget things. And sometimes I don't pay as close attention. You're right. Do you have any like time machine? What was happening at this time, Jim?
Oh, yeah, because we're going to be discussing episode 5 and 6 of X-Men, Repo Man and X-Ternally Yours. Just a
very odd name.
A ridiculous title. We'll get into that in depth. So Repo Man aired November 20th. That weekend was an iconic weekend. We had Addams Family Values, one of the greatest sequels of all time, coming out. We've talked a little bit about how much we love that movie. It's just fucking great. If you've never seen it, go back, watch the original, watch the sequel. They're both just awesome movies. I think the sequel is a little bit more fun, personally.
I was just
the first one has that whole big storyline with Uncle Fester that's a little obvious.
Yeah,
the second one's a little bit more free of that plot. Just having a little bit more fun with itself.
Fair.
And Christine Baranski, right?
Yeah, she was great.
She's so good in it.
And her and Christopher Lloyd are really funny together.
Yeah.
We just finished watching the Wednesday series, like the most recent season.
Oh, season 2. How was it?
It was fine. You know, it's just, more of the same. It's got that, like, what do you call it? Riverdale kind of feel to it. It's like a teen drama kind of show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. And I like the characters, and they did something cool with Thing on the end of the season. And also, I was also wondering what happened to Pubert from Addams Family Values, because he's not in this show.
Well, it's not a sequel to the Addams Family movies because those aren't Tim Burton. They're Barry Sonnenfeld.
A lot of people do think those are Tim Burton.
They have the Tim Burton feel. Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people think that the Addams Family movies are Tim Burton because it's very much that similar canon. But I kind of feel like Barry Sonnenfeld was always a little bit better at being Tim Burton than Tim Burton was.
Yeah.
Men in Black.
Yeah.
You know what movie I watched?
Coen Brothers world, so I think he just had the benefit of working with Sam Raimi and the Coen Brothers and just like listening to and talking to like other great filmmakers and listening to their ideas.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen
kind of like in this vacuum of like I am a singular genius,
Have you guys seen the movie Toys?
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah, that's a big failure for sure.
That was a movie that I saw. I saw that movie on the shelf at my video store when I was a kid for years. Never watched it. Always wondered what it was about. And I watched it this year, and I was just so flabbergasted. Like it was a crazy movie.
It fucking like almost scarred me, I think, as a child. Like
it's so weird. I'm so glad I didn't watch it as a child.
Fucking run of wasn't Rob Williams in that one too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like his run of like 93 to like 99 kind of range. Like there was some weird fucking movies in there.
I do love
movies that were only happening because Rob Williams wanted to do them, I think.
LL Cool J in that movie is great.
Yeah, that was like probably one of his first acting roles, really.
I would think so. It's 1992, so that's like really early.
Ladies love that guy.
A babysitter rented that for me.
Oh man,
probably the only reason I ever watched it.
Interesting choice.
It's probably because she loved Cool James.
Ladies love Cool James.
I think the ads were pretty ridiculous. I remember watching the ads on TV and being quite mystified and being quite a big fan of Robin Williams as a kid.
Yeah,
he's just TV rubber man. He's great.
Fisher King.
Yeah, I mean, he was just so iconic in movies like The Fisher King. Yeah, you're right.
No, he did a bunch of really great stuff. R.I.P. Rob Williams.
Yeah, love that guy. So there was a Thanksgiving break, so there was, I guess, no new episode of X-Men the week after that. But December 10th or so, no, December 4th, is when we had the release of the next episode, Externally Yours. And that was the second week of Mrs. Doubtfire, which debuted over the Thanksgiving weekend on its way to a huge shit. Speaking of Robin Williams, like, thank you for the setup.
Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear.
I love Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, like 219 million in 1993. That's probably like 400, 500 million today. Movies just don't.
That's crazy.
Comedies just don't.
Drive-by fruiting.
Hello. just seeing the face of Mrs. Doubtfire just makes me happy, and it makes me laugh.
So good.
He's so funny in that movie.
Yeah. It's almost as if people cross-dressing genuinely just brings joy, unless you're going to be a dick about it.
Yes, it didn't feel mean.
Mike.
That the way he. Whoa.
How do you be a dick about it?
I'm not going to yes and that. I'm not going to elevate that.
Dignify. We also had the second week of A Perfect World, which made 19 million in 2 weeks. That's pretty strong for a drama. Starring Kevin Costner and I think Clint Eastwood. It's a Clint Eastwood film. Very maudlin, Kevin Costner dies at the end. Super sad bullshit. We also had a giant flop in its second week. We're Back, A Dinosaur Story, plummeting to 9th. After making $6.5 million.
I think that's what killed that whole animation studio.
These were also 2 of the last weeks of Meatloaf's 5-week #1 run for "I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that."
Don't get me started on that song again.
Yeah, let's just definitely not go down that rabbit hole.
Repo Man, written by the creator of Wolverine, Len Wein.
He's adapting a bunch of shit he wrote himself here, which is
so funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess they probably sought him out for this. This is a very Wolverine origins kind of episode. So,
yeah, I like this episode.
I liked it too. Just getting that out of the way at the start. Yeah.
You can send all the mutants in Canada after me if you want. I'm not coming back. So good.
I have strong nostalgic feelings about this. Like, I remember watching this episode at my cousin's place on a Saturday morning, it's really awesome seeing Canadian superheroes for the first time. I didn't expect it at all. I don't think it was hyped up. I
like that the guy who's like wearing a Canadian flag as his costume has like a name like Vindicator. It's just so.
Yeah. It's kind of a dick, though, right?
Oh, he's a huge dick.
The Canadian shield was right there.
And he's kind of like, he's very Cyclops-esque, so it's no wonder they don't get along. Like, he's also married to a redhead who he has a soft spot for.
Clear parallels,
yeah.
Now, the redhead's actually the one who's supposed to be Vindicator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's her name. His name's supposed to be.
Captain
sometimes
Canuck.
He's Vindicator, but other times he's like Major Maple Leaf.
Ugh. Yeah, no, it's a good change. Yeah, anyway.
He has another name too, but I just forget it. Sometimes he just goes by James Hudson.
That's
like Jean Grey.
Like the Hudson Bay Company?
Yeah, I think that's where the Hudson name comes from. Heather Hudson is definitely meant to be like a proto Jean Grey. Like the imprint on him of kind redheads.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you, Heather.
Jean's like, who's this Heather?
The episode opens with him saying Heather in the same way that he says Jean. Heather. All we see is these trees because like the 90s Canadian, stereotypical image of Canada.
Yeah, we all live in the forest. We all live in wood cabins.
It's like our version of how like the Middle East is always mud huts and Africa is always grass huts.
Yeah.
It was pretty hilarious. Like I remember even 7 or 8 picking up on how silly that is.
Does Canada have a filter in the way that like a Mexican gangster movie has like a yellow filter? Like what's our version of that? Blue. I guess it's just blue, ice cold. Yeah.
Or like fluorescent lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, we love our fucking fluorescent lighting. Actually, there's a certain kind of yellow that gets used a lot in Canadian productions that like you never see in movies. I remember the first time I was even on a Canadian movie set, it was like Carrie Ann Moss was on this movie. It was called Normal.
Nice.
And I walked in, they were just using this yellow color. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was an intentional color. So
Interesting.
that's
Yeah,
the people that were showing.
it's a neutral color that both English and French speakers can adjust to.
Like, it
It's a
wasn't
bilingual
gold.
color.
Yeah.
It didn't look like copper from streetlights. It looked so unnatural. Just hey, what if some streetlights give off the color of piss? And that's this very Canadian TV color. Of just like, yeah, we're just gonna put yellow on this. It's ridiculous.
So like we said, Wolverine, he is traveling through the Canadian forest to meet a woman from his past named Heather. However, it turns out to be a trap that has been set by his old teammates, Alpha Flight, including Vindicator, as we already mentioned. There's also Puck, who seems to be a human hockey puck, which I just realized while watching this. I'd heard of Puck before.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
really
thought it
realize
was a
he
Shakespearean reference.
I mean, literally, kind of.
I mean, I
didn't
think
really
in
know.
some ways he is a little bit
puckish.
because he's a little guy. And he's
Yeah.
He's always doing mischief.
He's making jokes and shit.
Always throwing himself at people.
The troublemaker.
We've got Sasquatch, who sort of seems like a little bit of a beast-esque character. Like, I don't really know much about Sasquatch. He's just like a well-spoken Sasquatch man.
If Beast was voiced by Juggernaut, he would be Sasquatch.
Canadian Beast, eh?
There's also North Star and Aurora, who are the French Canadian siblings. Are they siblings?
Yeah, they're twins.
They're wonderful twins.
North Star, the boy, is actually gay. So
I was going to say,
first,
I think
like out gay character that we've seen.
Yes, I believe I knew that. And then there's an indigenous man named Shaman who has the ability to manipulate trees and plants, I think.
Talk to nature.
Yeah. And the Alpha Flight is trying to capture him. Most of them are saying that they want him to come back and work with them. They're upset that he left to work with the X-Men, and they're going to try to force him to work with Alpha Flight again. He gets away, he hides in a tree, but he can hear them over here. He overhears them talking about a lab that's waiting for them to show up with Wolverine, which brings about a flashback that he has where he's being held in this kind of like a Bacta tank from Star Wars, where a professor called Abraham Cornelius is experimenting on Wolverine, and he receives this very G-rated version of his adamantium injections. A lot different.
Is this the first time we've seen this on the show? Like, this is iconic.
I think so. Yeah,
burned into our memories from the movies and everything. But
that's what I'm thinking.
First time we've seen this process in the show.
Yeah,
I think so too. Yeah, and it's done sort of like very much like it's on his skin, and then they vaporize it into his body instead of being an actual injection. I'm not sure why they made that
doesn't
change.
Look like the super pain cycle that it is in the movie.
No. Yeah, so that's you're seeing.
The movie did it better. You know, I'm glad that the movie had it.
Is Wolverine?
A lot more
is
gritty.
Wolverine
didn't include Alpha Flight in the movies?
So this is one of the memories that Wolverine actually does have, I guess. Like he is missing his memories, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is one he does have.
He misses his memories before this.
Okay, got it.
I think that's the approach that they were taking with it. Is like he only remembers the stuff that's come after.
Yeah,
it's weird how. Yeah, it's kind of like he's like born as a child when he's getting this adamantium.
I guess so. Then back at the X Mansion, we cut back to the rest of the team. Jean's looking for Professor X still. She's using Cerebro, but she's really just having no luck. That's our little update with the team. So we
get a couple cool cameos here, though.
I kind of missed that. Do you know who they were? I did see like the flashing.
Yeah, we see just a couple of faces flash through. We see like Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch standing together, and I think that in slightly different colors. Then we'll see them later. We see Psylocke, but she's very different, and she's almost like got a couple of Domino's visual elements. So it's almost like they got a little confused, the animators, of who they were drawing.
Yeah,
I think this is where Jean like sees Wolverine. She's like, I don't know where he is, but he's in trouble, right? Like,
yeah,
nothing we can do to help him.
Yeah, we don't know the context under which Wolverine left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember him leaving at the end of last episode like he usually does,
No,
but
we're
Well,
just
wasn't he off
jumping some
looking for
time here.
Gambit or something?
um,
No,
yeah, I don't
because
know.
he's gonna no he. I
That's
think he
next
was
episode.
concerned he was concerned that he goes off
Mm.
to Gambit after this when he gets back from this mission.
He's just always leaving. That's just his thing.
He's
He's
just
in
coming and
and out.
going. Like he has his
Yeah.
own comic book solo show to sell as much as his regular appearances in the team book. He's got to justify being on the solo book, so he's always coming and going.
Just be glad I didn't cut off the top of your Jeep this time.
So Wolverine is captured by Alpha Flight, and it turns out this woman Heather is responsible for the manhunt. In a sense, we find out it's actually someone else, but she's like leading this part of it anyway. He has another flash.
If she was just trying to get him to come and do this thing,
test,
he could have just been like, "Hey, meet me here. Hey, this is what we want to do. Strap in." I think that might have been a little bit more effective in getting him there rather than like luring him out to the middle of the wilderness in a room and having a bunch of superheroes attack him that he's better than. Like
he's
for a scientist, your plans are dumb.
Yeah. I mean, if they know Wolverine at all, they have to know that's not going to be the way to get him to cooperate. But yeah, we flash back to Wolverine just after he escapes from the compound where he had the adamantium injected into him. And he's found by Heather, who's out hunting with her husband, and they tranquilize him and bring him back to their home because he's in this like feral state. He's just been out in the woods ever since. And she kind of like nurses him back to health. Like there's like a scene where she is just like reading a book to him, which I thought was funny. And
it's really crazy when she pulls her titty out and he just gives it a suck.
He just starts nursing on it. Yeah.
And then she like literally pours a glass of milk for him.
He's like, "No, I've had enough milk."
He's like, and he goes back to the titty.
Just outrageous stuff.
Logan wants titty milk.
And they take him to this General Chasen, who recruits him into Alpha Flight. He agrees to go along with it pretty quickly, honestly. They give him this costume that he's still wearing to this day.
I think he's just mostly stoked about the yellow costume. Like he really
likes it. He put it on right away.
He wears the costume a bunch of times and it's just socially inappropriate to be wearing his superhero costume,
Yeah.
And like it's funny how sometimes the top is like a hat and sometimes it's connected to the neck of the costume,
Yeah, like it implies he has multiple versions of it for multiple functionalities.
Maybe. Or maybe what I was seeing was the whole costume folded up, but I thought he was already in costume and just put on the top a couple times. And then a couple times he like slides it back from the top of his head so that it's like almost like a hood. It just like hangs there or like tucks in or something.
I think canonically it's a hood, like a cowl that's attached to the back.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So like it's always there in shots without it. It's just folded behind him like
it's just flopping behind him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. His hair is just ready.
Like a vestigial tail.
Yeah.
You know all about that, right, Mike?
Hell yeah, I do. It's wagging right now.
Happy boy.
Tail, buddy.
Happy life.
In the present, this Chasen is revealed that he's actually behind this too. He steps out of the shadows and it's revealed that he wants to replicate the process that allowed Wolverine to accept the adamantium into his body. He's,
but
Wolverine
he clearly has no idea what the fuck the process is.
No, he's so unscientific about it. He's just like
I think even as a child, I must have understood that the methods he was planning on using didn't make any fucking sense. Like Heather really is a dumb scientist because her going along with it at all was nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, he even sells him like, I worked on me because I'm a mutant. They don't even seem to understand that he has a healing factor. And that's why his body could handle it. And a bunch of dummies working for this Department H, which I don't know. Do we know what the H stands for? Is that like a hoser? Is that a thing in the hoser? Oh fuck.
Yeah. Sorry. I like too how he called him like Joe or whatever the whole time. Like it wasn't calling him like General. He was just like, listen, Jake or whatever. Just kept calling him that.
Yeah, I don't know. The Canadian government really comes across as stupid here. Alpha Flight also really comes across as kind of like quite a second-rate superhero team. I bought a couple Alpha Flight comic books when I was a kid. They did like a relaunch when I was like 12 or 13. Tried to make them cool and edgy. They said that Sasquatch mutated, but secretly Sasquatch had been replaced by a real Sasquatch. That was much
What
more
is a real
violent and
Sasquatch
dangerous.
compared to this guy?
It was lame. They had Heather be a Vindicator and wear like a much more Jean Grey like costume and be leading the team in battle.
Nice.
I
Nice.
think I dropped out after 4 or 5 issues, just like it wasn't going anywhere super exciting.
Does Heather have mutant powers?
I think so. I think that it's like the suit that has the powers of Vindicator, which like the
She's their Batman
controlling the earth
or
and
Iron Man.
controlling elements and stuff. I think it's more of a suit-based power than a mutant thing. Not
SPP,
don't quote me on that. I might be completely wrong, but I know her powers when she's Vindicator are like the same. It's like you can control the earth, and tunnel through it, and things.
So not the same as the Vindicator showed in this show.
Well, no, that's what
this guy was
Vindicator
just
was
shooting
doing in
lasers.
this show. He was like
I thought he was just shooting
controlling the
lasers and stuff.
He had
Well,
like
he was
energy
that, but he was also
shield
tunneling
around
through
him
the
and
ground.
shooting lasers and
So I think they're shooting. I think it's controlling the elements. So I think it's like she can channel fire, and that's what the shooting lasers is. I think it's. I don't know. I really should have researched this, but I researched the next episode because that's the one I wrote the recap for.
Noise.
Okay. So back in the Savage Land, Professor X and Magneto are just wandering around. And they meet a woman who says that Magneto has created all of the mutates that they have been encountering, which Charles is like, what the fuck? What does that mean? And Magneto's like, we can't talk about this right now. And she says that they have a new master now.
Whenever anybody says they can't talk about this right now, they're just like, they're guilty.
Yeah. No, they did something really fucked up. And no. And I'm sure that's what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I bet it is fucked up.
Yeah, I remember. Yep. And yes, it is.
She uses her ability on them, which seems to be like some kind of like vertigo effect. They just sort of get off balance and start wobbling, and they escape by cutting the bridge that they're standing on, and they swing into the rock face on the other side and run away on a little cliff. And I think that's the end of what we see from these guys in this episode. I think that's the little nugget we get.
Yeah, just a little blip.
Yep.
It's always fun to see Professor X walking around.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. No, the novelty doesn't go away because he's only appearing 2 minutes an episode.
But like, how does she have mutant powers if they're not allowed to have mutant powers, and how are they controlling that? That's kind of weird.
Well, she's a mutate, not a mutant.
Oh.
There's differences.
Patat.
She wasn't born with an X gene.
We don't get her name, do we?
I think
you know who she is.
Matter. I know that it's the same actress as Storm.
Yeah, it sounded like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of voice actor reuse, right? Like they're trying to get the actors that play the normal characters to play the
typical in animated series,
right?
Yeah,
especially if they're not going to be using anybody, right? Storm wasn't in this episode.
That's true,
and not in the next episode either.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah, it really is actually. Storm and Wolverine are in the most episodes of anybody in the show.
And this is like a very Wolverine focused episode. The next one's a very Gambit focused episode.
Wolverine's just kind of like the go-to star of the show.
Yeah,
except in season 3, but like season 2 and season 4, he's just like all over the place, just always in the middle of the action. And I think that's a reaction to his popularity.
Yeah, he's probably the most popular.
He probably gets multiple, like, this is his backstory. This is something from his past kind of episodes too, I think, right?
Yeah, those are mostly in season 4. Oh, there's a bit of a story arc of Wolverine dealing with his shit that actually kind of organically makes sense. It wouldn't have come across when you're watching it as a kid because some of these episodes were aired wildly out of order. When you watch it in order, he really does like come to a bit of a crisis and go off to kind of deal with himself on a bit of a tour, which it's pretty cool stuff. He really does get explored really well. He's always a big part of it, but like he's not even Wolverine in X-Men Evolution. He's just like the older teacher guy. this is a great version of him. And it's cool that I guess this episode, because revealed this much of his origin, probably gave us a lot. As kids, this is a lot of where our love of Wolverine would have come from.
Oh
Yeah, I think I probably went out and bought my first Wolverine comic after watching like this one.
That makes sense. That being said, the plot of it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the villains are dumb. They don't really ever have the good guys in a place where they want them. Like, they're never really Wolverine's never really in danger. It doesn't seem like.
Yeah, I give this like 6 pucks out of 10. It's fun. It's iconic. There's a lot of stuff.
But we didn't even get to the end.
What?
We didn't even talk about the end yet.
The fuck? Oh.
The experiments aren't working.
The experiments aren't working, so they say they're going to use, instead of just trying to like study him, they're going to remove his skeleton completely, which Heather is like, whoa, that's not what I signed up for. I quit. And
which is like the only way that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vindicator kind of a dick about it.
His Wolverine's in trouble. My apologies.
Yes. No. So and then the rest of Alpha Flight, when they find out, they kind of turn on him too. So quickly it becomes like Wolverine plus Alpha Flight versus this general and his automaton.
I like how the X-Men don't even come to save him. It's
no, they don't. They're just like, oh man, that's what's wrong with Wolverine. What are we gonna do?
They don't have jurisdiction there.
Yeah, I mean, they are like a government superhero team, aren't they? Like they're.
I guess they are at this point. They're government sponsored or government condoned.
Yeah. Certainly, the United States would never just do something impulsively or irrationally.
No,
it's crazy.
That would be just unprecedented.
So Wolverine tells Vindicator that if he tries that again, if he ever comes looking for him, he will show no mercy. And then he's off to the wind again. And now we're done with the episode, Jim. You can tell us how many pucks you give it.
Still 6.
6.9.
Yeah, nice.
6.9. Nice.
No, it's a 6.
Yeah, I'd say about a 6 is fun. I think I thought it was pretty fun. I like Alpha Flight. They're kind of like the perfect kind of like goofy comic book characters. A little underdeveloped. Like, you don't really meet and learn too much about any of them. But yeah, I'd say about a 6 too.
Yeah, like representation matters, I think, and
you see yourself here?
Yeah, it was like, hey, cool, Canadian stuff. Oh, I guess our generals don't really look like that. They don't have like red stars like their Chinese communist generals on their lapels. But hey, those could have been little maple leaves. They could have done that correctly. And it just didn't look right or didn't translate to the Korean animators, maybe. Yeah, whatever. It was fine. Give it a solid 69 out of 100.
Bad.
Tight.
Shall we? I don't think there was anything particularly notable as far as powers in this episode. It was kind of.
I mean, the Alpha Flight has interesting powers. Sometimes
I like Puck. I think Puck's
Snowbird
neat.
Turns into a Snowbird.
And a wolf.
What are Aurora and North Star's powers? They seem to kind of like Wonder Twinny. I don't really know what they do.
I think they're like
Joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
Yeah.
Mon ami.
Yeah, it's all joie de vivre. Puck is like rubbery.
Yes. When I googled Puck, it says he has a rubber body.
Great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like a rubber plant. How's that going to work biologically?
I don't know.
He's a man, Jim. He's a Canadian man.
He's a Canadian man. He's a short little man with a funny voice. He had a very funny voice.
I think we've all met a little rubber guy out there once or twice here in Canada.
Little rubber fella.
Oh, yeah, down by the docks there, the little rubber fella. Yeah, sure. Sure, I've met him.
Yeah, we all call him Puck.
Yeah, we call him Puck. We like to hit him with a hockey stick. Just for fun, eh?
So, Jim, tell us about X-Ternally Yours.
Yeah, so this episode is an adaptation of a comic book that had aired pretty recently because they're trying to flesh out Gambit with some backstory here, give him some expanded world of his own. And so we start with the Danger Room. We've got Cyclops training in the Danger Room, and he's saving imaginary holographic women from monsters, and he's complaining that the training's too easy. He just kills it too easily. Gambit is monitoring it, and he's not really paying all that much attention. And he gets a phone call, and the phone call really gets his attention, and he's not really paying attention, and he accidentally switches the training room intensity to high. And suddenly Scott is fighting all of their whole rogues gallery, which is kind of cool. And there's like a dope animation sequence where he's fighting all of them. But he's getting his ass kicked. Rogue notices this is happening and saves him from the Danger Room. And then they realize that Gambit's like fucked off because he's not paying attention. What's happened is that his brother is having his life threatened by the ancient Assassins Guild because he's got this whole blood feud between the Assassins Guild and the Thieves Guild from New Orleans, where he's from. There's this old family feud, and we learn all about how they have to pay this ancient tithe to the X-Ternal. And the X-Ternal is this kind of like weird, like
it's like a deity. It reminds me a lot, actually, of Skyrim. If you have like played that game, where like you become like a thieves guild or like a brotherhood of the assassins, and then you can like run into these like sort of deities that like give you special powers if you kind of do a special mission for them.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's basically
so yeah,
what's
kind of
going on
like
here.
this. Yeah,
Because like if they properly do the ties, and the deity will increase their magic powers. So give some of her powers to them. They're calling her the X-Ternal. She's based on a character in the comics named Kandra. The major difference between the X-Ternal as she's presented here and Kandra is that Kandra's white. And here they've made the X-Ternal black for some reason. Which is a really interesting choice. I think they're trying to like diversify things themselves where they can.
Where the series goes woke.
Yeah. I guess maybe like to them, New Orleans was spiritually more of a black place because of the whole, culture of slave voodoo, not slave voodoo, slave mysticism and everything that culturally informed the New Orleans area.
Wouldn't have happened without white people, though. You could admit that.
Kandra's one of the X-Ternals in the comic books. In the comic books, the X-Ternals are this group of immortal mutants. The most famous of them is Apocalypse and Sabanur. He's like the OG, the original immortal mutant. And there's a bunch of other ones. And the idea is that they can only kill each other. That they are like immortal by any other hand, except for each other. There's a couple minor ones named like Gideon and Asbaloth or whatever. The most well-known one is Selene, who's kind of like this vampire queen. She's part of the Hellfire Club sometimes in their representation.
You interact with Blade?
A little bit, yeah. But Apocalypse is like the main guy. Kendra usually is working for him, and she's usually a bad guy. Here she's presented as more like neutral, I think for the sake of the story they're trying to tell. They also hadn't made the connections between all the X-Ternals and figured this all out at the time. So her being called the X-Ternal was just because she was the only X-Ternal, the first character presented as an X-Ternal. The only heroic character that's an X-Ternal is Cannonball, who'll be introduced at the end of the series. And I think the idea at the time was that they wanted Cannonball to be like the ultimate weapon that can kill Apocalypse, maybe. But that's never happened. And they've kind of dropped that whole external bit.
I thought Cannonball was like a teen hero. Wasn't he like on the new...
Cannonball was from the New Mutants and then X-Force. And eventually he joins the X-Men in the comic books. And then I think goes back to X-Force. He might even lead X-Force for a while. But he's a character I think they had big plans for and they wanted to be a big deal, but then they also realized that like they can't kill off Apocalypse. So they kind of cooled off on Cannonball because they didn't know really what to do with him beyond him having this.
I think in the comic books, he was the character that kicked off the Civil War storyline because he's on a team of teen heroes
That's Speedball. He's on the New Warriors.
Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Which is a superhero team that like makes a reality TV show.
Yes.
And gets themselves into some dumb shit and gets themselves killed. Yeah, similar characters. Speedball is a little bit more annoying and not a mutant. Like I think he has like science accident based powers, maybe.
Gotcha. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
Cannonball, Speedball sounds like Disco Studio 54 back in the 70s. Am I right?
You're right.
Joe Flaherty and Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, that's who I'm going for. We were talking about teens and X-Ternal. Go on.
So a flashback reveals that 10 years ago, the assassins and the thieves were supposed both bringing their tithes. The assassins come, and the assassins have a really interesting aesthetic. Like it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like very much mask based and very dark, and they have like lots of textures and fabrics to break things up, make themselves look cool.
A lot of neon
but
highlights.
Their color scheme is like neon green and pink. It's the ultimate early 90s expression. Like
they'll never see us coming with our giant lime green guns.
Into X-Men. Yeah, like these colors just have no practical use in real life. They only could exist in this comic book. They only even were in the comic books like once or twice. These weren't characters that were ever developed. They just showed up once or twice for basically this story and were more or less dropped and not really a thing so much.
Yeah, I've never heard of these characters.
Yeah, in other episodes of X-Men, we've been introducing characters that will show up again and are recurring in our parts of the iconic canon. Like, we won't see Alpha Flood again, but that is a big, like, part of Marvel lore. They've been around since the 70s. They're an important team. Maybe the 80s, but I think they're like 70s. But yeah, the Assassin's Guild stuff is one and done. These characters are fascinating. They kind of look like Rob Liefeld Predators on crack or something.
Yeah.
Interesting though that you have assassins and they're in like a brotherhood, and then you have like a group of thieves in a little guild. It's like, and then they pray to this deity that like decides which one gets power. Like it's kind of like could have been maybe something that inspired Skyrim writers, you know?
Or Assassin's Guild writers. That comics, there's a lot of interesting ideas.
Well, the Assassin's Creed
that
game
I think
too is very similar.
You'd have to really go into and really dive into, and here in 20 minutes, there's really not enough to bite onto. They're focusing on Belladonna and his relationship. Now, Belladonna's relationship with Gambit is that they were married. In the comics, they get married. In the cartoon, he leaves her at the altar, but in the comics, he leaves her right after they get married. So they're never really together. They fall in love, and they have this heavy, deep relationship. But Gambit needs to go. He needs to get away.
You know, Gambit going bust before he run off those shows.
He's actually challenged to a duel by somebody on the night of the wedding in the comics, and he kills the person. He needs to leave in exile. It's very Barry Lyndon-y. But in the comic books, in the cartoon here, he just fucking leaves to go join the X-Men, I think, to be a better man.
You telling me I hit him with the toe, Cher?
So we see this. We see that the thieves fuck up giving them the tithe. I think they drop it a decade ago, and so the guy that's supposed to give the tithe, who looks a lot like Gambit, dies. I was thinking that this guy's going to be his brother, but no, it's a guy who looks nothing like him as his brother Bobby.
That's right.
I thought that was a nice twist.
I love how they're all wearing the Gambit jacket too. Right?
Yeah,
it's like oh no, that's just their uniform.
They all kind of dress like Gambit, because they're all wearing. He has that pink shirt, and
he's the only one that has like the superhero chest plate thing.
Yeah, he's the only one with red eyes.
By looking at the Assassin's Guild, that's the Thieves Guild thing.
Yeah.
I think the red eyes are his mutant.
That must be his mutant energy shit going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like Gambit. I just had a thought. I'll come back to me. Go ahead.
God, that must have hurt so bad. I'm sorry. Do you need counseling?
We can do it after. Yeah.
Okay. So Wolverine gets back from his trip to Canada. And the X-Men are all worried about Gambit because Cyclops is down for the count and Jean's kind of like in charge. Who knows what Storm's off doing? Um, anyway, Wolverine, Rogue, and Jean decide to go off after Gambit and try and figure out what's up. Which is a pretty awesome team of people to be sending on a mission, you know? I think if I was to pick 3 people, or 4 even,
Yeah,
pick
it's a
them.
good team.
Them and Storm. That's the dream team. The most useful characters. Uh, Meanwhile, Remy's visiting the Assassin's Guild headquarters and he's trying to make a deal here. He brings the tithe. He talks to his imprisoned brother Bobby, and Bobby's just a fucking dick. Not a helpful person at all. You don't have any sympathy for him. Then it turns out that Belladonna's arranged the whole thing, and she's now like dyed her wedding dress black, leaving some like weird piping along the edges, which is kind of a cool idea for a costume. I never really didn't think about it much as a kid, but as an adult, I was pretty impressed by that. And then her look is fucking wild. It's like a mullet, but with the long part is dreadlocks, and it's kind of like, oh, that's
It's like crimped hair or weird braids or something.
that almost looks like a ravy look today.
Yeah,
yeah, of
You
course.
might see something like that today.
Yeah.
Not in the 90s though. Holy shit.
no,
It was just a weird, crazy fucking look.
Crimped hair was a thing for a couple of years.
Yeah. Maybe, but I don't know if it looked kind of like this.
This looked like a weird like fabric weaving, like a quilt.
Just a bonkers hairstyle.
Yeah.
Something I really would love to see on film.
No wonder he left her at the altar. Honestly.
Yeah, I wonder who was going to play Belladonna in the movie, because I think that
the Gambit movie.
I think they got to the point of even casting a Belladonna for the Channing Tatum Gambit movie, which had to be based on this in some way, right?
Oh my god, can you imagine? I guess so.
Try
yeah.
to imagine. You know, I can't. I really want to know what they planned for the Assassin's Guild to look like. Was Channing Tatum going to be?
Oh, I'm sure they'd all just be wearing leather jackets or something. Nothing too crazy. But
Batman and Robin has characters that look like the Assassin's Guild, and no, it's Batman Forever, I think, when he steals the Batmobile and fights all those dudes that are wearing like
that's true, yeah,
glow outfits. They look kind of like this, but they have that color scheme anyway of like insane bright greens. Yeah. So anyway, Belladonna's got her external powers, so she can somehow negate Gambit's powers and imprisons him, which I was pretty impressed by. Like the external powers must be pretty great. Makes you wonder like what powers Gambit had before.
So Belladonna is an external as well?
No, like the external gives you powers when you do the tithe properly. So Belladonna had been like chosen to be the representative, so she got the most power. So she was super powerful at this point. And then I think if the tithe went through, then the external would have given them both powers properly. But I think it would have been more like equal amount. But it just like it all went to Belladonna and her team, the last generation. It's pretty vaguely poorly explained. Are you guys still with me?
Yeah, we're here. No, we're
there's just nothing to say.
I agree.
Right? Like,
I just agree. Yeah, this is like a really confusing episode.
Yeah, there's not a strong definition of what's happening here.
Yeah.
So then the X-Men decide to come and attack. They couldn't save Wolverine, but they're going to try to save Gambit.
Yeah. Well, Gambit's a little more helpless.
They attack the Thieves Guild. I think when the thieves are, they at their highlight. Bobby comes back because he's been let go, and everyone stops because he's shown up, and he says, "Oh no, Remy's gone. He traded himself for the tithe." He kind of lies. He doesn't say that Belladonna did that switcheroo or anything because Bobby's a piece of shit. I do like that consistently Bobby is not a good dude.
Yeah. Is Bobby a character that's been like consistently part of Gambit? Like Gambit has had multiple solo series. Like
I've never read a comic book with any of these fucking characters. I've seen Belladonna get mentioned as his first love a bunch of times, but that's mostly like she's an artifact character more than an active character.
Okay.
No, she still wants to marry Gambit though, and she reveals that the tithe that she gave the thieves was a fake. So things are bad.
Mm-hmm.
So then we jump forward to the tithe presentation.
Here's what was sticking in my cross. So the tithe presentation, first time around, dude has the box. He's right fucking there. The external's like, nope, too late. Sorry, fuck you. Boom. Right? This time around, they're doing the same fucking thing. She runs in and the fake one is out. And she's like standing there holding the box, just like the guy was when he got smoked. And she's like, oh, you put it down. And look, it's a real one. Like, what? Not fair.
Yeah.
Not fair.
Just playing
She's
favorites.
where are they sending them? Is it like a dimension or a new universe, or where are they going when they?
I gathered that she was just straight killing the motherfucker, which is another thing that was like really
I thought she was sending them
like
to like
holy shit.
a place, like the way she phrased it.
Maybe I got a definite this motherfucker is dead vibe.
I mean,
Maybe just obliterated.
dead is a place.
Yeah,
He's hanging out with the Shadow King. It's a good time.
Yeah.
he's with the Hat Man now.
When you explain that this character is kind of like on the level of Apocalypse, her like doling out powers and ability, like kind of makes sense. Like that's sort of similar to what he does with the Horseman, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the external way, right? Give people powers, make them your slave.
It's sort of like a pyramid
Control
scheme
over
of
them.
handing out superpowers. Like he's on the top, handing out power, and they can give out powers to other people. Maybe.
Well, do they ever mention what the tithe is? Like it's just a little gold box.
That was my question too.
Yeah,
I was like curious, like, is it just like money or something, or I didn't know.
somebody's finger.
It's the early prototypical blueprints for an AI.
Oh damn!
Really?
And she needs a new update every 10 years.
Deep fucking cut. If anyone knows what I'm referencing, you win
I
a
don't know what you're talking about. Don't tell me. I don't care.
Okay. That's the right answer. Yeah, so anyway, they're having this big old fight. The thieves somehow are not getting decimated in this fight between like overpowered assassins who look like predators and the X-Men and these thieves with their coats. And
I
maybe the
think
coats
by
are bulletproof,
definition
like
they
in
are predators.
John Wick. Yeah. So anyway, Jean Grey cuts through all the bullshit and just telepathically shows Belladonna's treachery to the external. And so the external stops the fight and she presents Belladonna to the Thieves Guild, and Bobby's like, fucking kill her. But Remy doesn't want anyone else to die. He steps in. He says, no, 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 like, let her live. Just take away her powers. Gambit then gives her back her wedding ring, and he says he's never coming back to the Thieves Guild. He's with his people.
You can send all the mutants in Canada. I ain't never coming back, he says.
All the mutants in the bayou.
And like I can see why it was taking a couple years for them to get that script right for Gambit if this was all they had. Like the more interesting story I think with Gambit is to have the Morlocks get killed and then reveal that Gambit did it after he joins the team. Because that's like the betrayal that fueled his comic book run for about a decade. It was really strong, but this is just all they had at the time, and it's just really flimsy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't hate the premise, I guess, but it just comes off really complicated and boring. I don't know. I think there's potential there to like introduce some interesting characters who are like, you know, Louisiana Bayou, New Orleans, like mutant characters, assassin. Like you could do something interesting.
I feel
with
like
that.
if
I just
those
don't think they
green-haired
did.
characters had some character, that might have been interesting. But all we got was like Bobby and Belladonna.
No, everyone just they just made bad characters. They should have done better.
Yeah, they should have at least made toys of these characters, but they didn't. There's custom toys people have made online, but they weren't even making these goofballs to make toys of them. The toys kind of more. There were toys of the X-Men, but they were more following the comic book storylines than this, which is really a strange choice in hindsight.
That seems like the kind of deep cut they would maybe make now that toys are like way more collector focused, and you want to like put out someone that only like one guy knows about, and like you make like 500 of them,
Yes.
and that one guy buys all of them.
That is definitely how toys happen now.
Yeah.
Somebody should make a Haim Saban action figure. That'd be cool.
Hell yeah.
It's just like, hey, you thought this guy was Asian your whole life, but he's Jewish.
Lock Haim.
I'm Saban.
Yeah, and anyway, we get another satisfying segment. Like, it's just confirmed that Magneto is responsible for creating the mutates. Dun dun dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Not much really happens though. Like, I'd say of all of the this is probably the most skippable episode in season 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was definitely the worst of like here's a glimpse into their life back at home. Like it was just not.
Yeah, like I give this one like honestly like 2 green hairs out of 10. It's not a very good episode.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it like a 0. I just didn't even.
Cool.
I didn't even bring my ties. I don't have any ties for this thing.
Yeah, this one's just like there's just nothing to it. It doesn't make sense. It's never gonna matter later. Even the Savage Land stuff is pretty much like whatever. We kind of already knew this.
Yep.
Yeah, solid like 2.5.
2 point. Why do we even have a 10-point system if you're going to do 2.5?
At least better than a 2, but it's not quite a 3.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
This is just what it is.
4.2. I don't know. Yeah. Yep. Well, next week we're going to be covering Time Fugitives, which is going to be much more exciting. I'm really stoked for that.
Yeah. An intentional 2-parter sounds like. I know everything's been like 2-parters and all that, but yeah, these little bottle episodes were a little bit snoozy.
And it's a really fun Terry Gilliam movie. So
I think we're seeing here a little bit of like they kind of had to come up with 65 episodes of plots or 52 episodes of plots and also produce a 13-episode season in the amount of time that they previously just produced a 13-episode season. So I think some of the earlier ones we're getting here are just like a little bit thin. And that's okay.
It's that's fine.
Better. I mean, like season 3 fucking slaps.
If it didn't exist, people would be complaining that there's no Gambit episode. So, you know.
They'd be like, what the hell happens between season 1 and season 3?
It should be how they do a Street Fighter TV show. It's like Street Fighter Season 2.
Mm-hmm. Tournament
season
edition.
We call it Season 2.
Super Street Fighter Season 2 Turbo.
I'll smash that, bro.
I love it. All right. I mean, that's a pretty quick episode for us. We're not much to say.
Yeah, not a lot to talk about with these ones. Which is fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Kind of hoped it would be like this, honestly.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's been it. That's it. Let's say goodnight.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys soonish for Time Fugitives.
Sounds good.
Boys.
Later, fellas.
Later, Quades.